Have you tried several strategies to improve your relationship with your teenagers, but none seems to work? The problem could be that some of your parenting strategies may be doing more harm than good. I am Adepeju Ariyo and I welcome you to Life on Flicks, the number one place for parents with teenagers for tips, strategies to improve your parenting skills and transform your relationship with your teens. The foundation of improving your relationship with your teens starts with you. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things you need to stop doing to your teens from today and the skills you will need to help you. The truth may be hard sometimes, but it is what it is. And I will tell you as it is. 1. Stop shooting down their dreams and plans. Many parents want to live their life through their children's life. What is your child saying that you can't see? Pause, think, reflect before you continue. And, before you continue to make that decision for their life. I will give you an instance. Some parents are not open to any discussion with their teenagers about what course they should study in the university. The teens can open up. They end up going along with the choice made for them. Don't get me wrong. It sometimes works out fine, but most times it doesn't. A young medical school graduate joined our teens church some years back, and he said, I just finished medical school because my parents wanted it. And I've started ACCA, which is the professional accounting course. I prefer the accounting world because that is my passion. I love figures. When I graduated, I gave my medical certificate to my parents. I am now following my dream. Imagine how much time you could have helped your child save if he had been guided to go for the course of his choice. Sadly, some parents continue this even when their children are grown. For example, I want a low-key wedding. And parents, no, the world must hear about your wedding. I know I'm jumping the gun right now. They are still teenagers. But these same things are fast growing. And in 5 to 10 years, you'll be talking along this path. If you struggle in this area, you will probably want to see my video on how to listen so your teenagers will talk. Listening with intention to help them and support them. Another thing to stop doing to your teens is making them fear you or you look unapproachable to them. You are nice outside the house and helpful, but you're a terror at home. Your children can't connect or engage with you, making your teens scared or fear you or too scared to talk to you. This results in teens hiding issues or areas of their lives from you. And what are the signs? When your first response are phrases like, you did what? Or you went where? With who? In a loud voice. This shut them down. And they sometimes cover their tracks by saying something they know you will want to hear. And of course, they say, Mom, it's not like that. I know this is actually what happened. And you respond by saying something like, it better not be. Or something along that line. Teens are constantly talking. The only difference is that they are not talking to you because you have shut them down. But they talk to their friends on social media. We have statistics, of course, to back this up. When you check their screen time, you'll be shocked at the length of time they log on various social media platforms. Parents know how to get onto this thing. When your presence in the house brings like a blanket of coldness and quietness to the house. Recently, a teenager committed suicide because he couldn't tell his parents about his grade in school. Many kids get to school and change their degree and wait till graduation day before telling their truth. Why? This is due to communication barrier at home. Children do not feel safe in a home where there is unhealthy fear, especially today's teens. You must have noticed that in such a relationship, communication is usually one-sided. Usually the parents talking and the teens silent. Parents should balance risk, fear, and overprotectiveness with the importance of encouraging children to be independent and show or demonstrate initiative. Measured freedom, I say, is better. How best can you handle these issues when they come up? Respond calmly. This sends out the message that it is safe to talk with you, that they do not need to hide or lie. To build this trust with your children, try responding with, wow, thanks for being honest about that. Or, I need a minute to think about this. Can we continue this conversation later? This will buy you time for you to reflect and come up with a suitable answer. A gentle response diffuses anger, but a sharp tongue kindles a temper fire. Before I go on, hit the subscribe button on this video. You don't want to miss all the video that I have to help you improve your relationship with your teens. Another thing to stop doing to your teens is not working with them to navigate their emotional turmoil or feelings. Breaking them down emotionally, mentally, spiritually, bullying them, or sometimes physical abuse or using abusive words. Children internalize pain and they exhibit it by, self-destructive behaviors like anger, like being disobedient. They want to get out of your house fast. And in this, they form an elder relationship or get into stuffs that can change the course of their destiny negatively. Stop saying, I told you so, and walk away. When they make mistake, they turn to you for comfort, but you're nowhere to be found. And you don't give them room for self-exploration. You say, it is my way or no way. Popular among parents is, no, and that is final. Because I told you so, because I say so, I am your parent. They know. I remember an incident where my child lost something valuable to me. It takes only self-control not to hit on my child with words to make them feel pain that I was feeling by using words to inflict emotional pain. I know some parents will eat out physically, which is totally unacceptable. That is parental bullying. At that point, I couldn't reason. The lost item was valuable enough to make me cry. It was painful. I was sad, and my children knew something big is wrong. But one thing kept me from doing all the above. I will tell you my secret soon. The number 4 point is when you don't teach them how to handle life skills, how to cope in life-threatening situation, not teaching them and doing it for them. That teenage child will grow up living off you. When you don't teach them survival skills, sustenance skills, how to handle money, that is financial knowledge, how to prioritize tasks, how to interact with others, and most especially the opposite sex, how to learn from mistakes, how to cook, how to clean up after themselves, how to accept consequences for their action, how to, accept other people's point of view, or how to disagree appropriately. I once heard the story of an old man who said when his children were younger in university, he gave his children cars, expensive lifestyle, good pocket money, without teaching them how to make more or retain the wealth he has built. Fast forward years later, the children couldn't hold down jobs. Why? Because the salary was just too small compared to what daddy gives. He continues to bail them out, and very soon, wealth when not managed will leave. He is now old, sick, and the children hate him for not giving them more to sustain their lifestyle. Sadly, their wives are the main breadwinner in their homes. Remember, train up your child in the way he should go and grow. And when he's old, he will not go away from that direction. That is in Proverbs 22:6. Stop being over suspicious. That's the 5th point. Some parents are obsessed with constantly checking on their children, their phones, their rooms. Don't get me wrong, it's good to check on them, but why not engage them first? Children from different generations have mastered the act of hiding things from parents. They often use coded language. You can't decipher. You can't even decode it unless you're a teenager or you are just plain lucky to have one of them trust you enough to give you the codes. Parent needs to correct and outgrow this compulsive checking and follow up. This make your teens grow up with trust issue. Or latch onto the first person that gives them what you did not give them. A 22-year-old once told me, I dated my first boyfriend because he believed in me. Some children go into an healthy relationship because they need validation, which they did not get from home. Set boundaries. Explain why you have set them and what may likely happen if they default. Let them realize you're counting on them to stick to their part of the bargain. How then can parents improve their relationship with their teens? I would say by learning how to communicate with your teens. Listen, reflect, or process your words or action before you respond. Stay calm. It's not easy. It comes with practice, but you must be willing. Create a safe, inviting environment for your children to thrive and bond with you. Watch my video where I talk extensively on how to communicate with your teens. I'll give you another personal example. I noticed that my son had on an earring in one of his photos. He sent me the photo some months back, but I didn't notice at that time. I thought it was an AirPod actually, until I happened on the photo again and I sent the pics back to him. I said, fine boy. Then in the evening, I called him as I normally do and asked him what he thinks about earring on teen boys. He said he's cool with it and he's not really used it except once, and it was a magnetic ear clip he got one time, but it's now lost anyway. I knew this can affect future sensitive conversation. But prior to this, at age 16, he told me he's interested in wearing neck chain and bracelets. He discussed his reason with me, and I agree within limits. But earring was never part of the limit or part of the conversation. I never saw it coming. Every family have their culture and beliefs with which they, bring up their children. But I knew I wanted to come out of this discussion whole, not broken, not beaten, but heard. I reminded him of the story about my parents not allowing me to wear dangling earrings as a teenager, and what I did in that situation. I obeyed because I was taught to obey my parents, and I knew that years later will come and I can wear what I want. Fast forward today, I can wear what I want because I'm my own person. I asked how attached he is to the jewelry and what his perception is. He said, Mom, you taught me that I can live my life not on what people say, because people will always talk. I said, I taught you to live in moderation, as the Bible told us to. They sometimes twist your words. He asked what my thoughts are, and I said, we have brought you up as a Christian African man and a Nigerian Yoruba man for that matter. We don't use earrings. I asked if he can delay using it for some years to allow him to step up to be his own man, then he can revisit the usage of earring. You see, in this way, I put a time limit to it and deferred to him to make the decisions in some years to come. I have saved our relationship because no matter what I say, if he wants to use it as a grown man, I can't stop him, and that is the truth. The rest I can only handle in prayers for him. I have taught him how to make decisions. Now to the golden tips to bring about a turnaround in your relationship. What is your desired outcome? I put the end in mind when I'm acting, and that is just my basic rule. It is time for parents to go back to school of life, back to the drawing board, have a rethink, learn the rules of engaging with your teenagers. Parents need to learn how to parent their teens. Engagement strategies you can learn to raise your children with out of love, without frustration and anger, with a balance, to make them grow up with a balanced emotional health, and they will end up being a blessing to their generation. Check out my video where I talked about how to communicate with your teenagers and how to set boundaries with your teenager. And also, if you find value in the things which I have mentioned, please click the subscribe button below.